What is up, legends? Welcome back to the Angelakos show. This, as always, is the place where we talk about discipline, where we talk about mindset, growth, and becoming the type of person that you actually respect. I'm your host, Lucas Angelakos. If this is your first time listening, I'm one of Sydney's fastest growing sales agents, and I'm also an MMA fighter. And today we are going to be talking about something that every single one of us will deal with either sooner or later. And how you handle it says everything about your character. So what we're talking about is disrespect and how to handle it like a weapon, not a weakness. So to set the record straight from the get-go, I'm not saying you should be a sensitive individual, because a lot of people are. I'm not saying you should have a cry over every little comment someone may or may not make. This episode is dedicated towards someone that is blatantly disrespecting you. If someone literally looks you in the face and tries to undermine you, ignores you, treats you like you don't matter, well then you need to call it out. But you do it calmly, you do it intelligently, and you do it confidently, because the moment you get emotional, the moment you lose your cool, guess what? They've won. Let me give you a real life example from my own experience. So I was at an inspection with a potential buyer. Now everything was going well, everything was moving forwards, the conversation was flowing, they liked what I was showing them, and then out of nowhere this guy rocks up. Now I didn't know who this guy was, but the buyer knew him from work or from acquaintances, right? So they knew each other. And so anyway, the guy unexpectedly interrupts the inspection, which is fine. But then what happens next? So he straight up thought he was too cool for school, pretended I didn't exist. I said hi to him. He didn't even say hi back. He was like turning his back to me, and he was literally saying stuff to the buyer like, hey, you know, these agents, they'll show you anything just to get a deal, right in front of my face. Trying to turn the buyer away, right in front of me, like I wasn't even there. Now, in this situation, I hadn't experienced something like this before. So I could have snapped, I could have clapped back, I could have started being a smart ass, but I didn't. I wanted to gather myself, I wanted to remember this situation, and as I said, it was the first time that I dealt with it. So instead, again, I fell back. Okay, I fell back, I let it all slide, I continued my inspection after the guy left, and that was that. But when I got back to my office, I spoke to someone way more experienced than me at the time, someone I respect and someone who handles situations extremely well, multiple situations extremely well. So here's what I learned, and I use this all the time now, and it is gold. So you can tailor this to any specific situation that you're in. Number one, you need to label what's happening calmly. And I also got this labeling technique from a book, Never Split the Difference. I definitely recommend you guys read. So here it is. So you label the situation, as I said, step one. So you look the person directly in the eye, and you can say something, again, you can tailor this, but you can say something along the lines of, hey, it seems like you've got a problem with me, okay? In a cool, calm and clear tone. Just that sentence, that's it. Without anger, that's powerful. And most people, most 85% of people, as soon as you expose them, as soon as you call it out calmly, okay? Because most people aren't expecting to be challenged. They like this, you know, throwing out comments and all this stuff below the line, right? But now you're basically telling them, hey, like, I see you, I see what you're doing, okay? So they're most likely going to say, oh, no, you know, it's not like that, whatever. Cool. If that happens, you be the bigger person. You just know in your mind that you've won. You've called out their behavior without losing your cool. Okay, so they're going to think twice before doing that to you or other people, right? So again, move on. Now, if they double down and say, yeah, I do have a problem, and not many people will do this, but if they do, okay, the key is to stay calm, stay composed. Okay, and you say something, again, you can tailor this to your situation, but you say something along the lines of, number one, look, I really don't care if you like me. My mission when I wake up is not for you to like me. I'm not going to lose sleep over it or not. But if we're going to be around each other, again, tailor this to your situation. But if we're going to be around each other, I would prefer to keep it professional and keep moving forward without this negativity. You don't know me, I don't know you. If you get to know me, you'll see what I'm about. Okay? No emotion, no weakness, right? Just logic and clarity. And from their perspective, they're going to be like, okay, this guy's called it out. He doesn't care if I like him or not, which they probably already know. But you saying that is powerful. I don't care if you like me or not, no matter who it is. Okay? That's not your mission for people to like you. And then you just hit them with logic. You don't know me, I don't know you. You might like me if you get to know me, but we're in this situation. Let's just move forward without negativity. Okay? Logic and clarity. Now, as you may know, I love the Stoics. Okay? So control is power, right? So this is some Stoic wisdom for you guys. Epictetus said, when someone irritates you, realize that it's your own opinion that has been irritated. So don't let your emotions be dictated by others. So you don't control other people. I can't control someone randomly rocking up to my inspection. But you control you. And that's where your leverage comes in. That's how you stay powerful without saying a word too loud, without losing your cool. Here's some biblical reference. So let's not forget Jesus himself, okay, faced massive disrespect, massive abuse from multiple sources and from multiple people. People mocked him. People doubted him. People accused him. People spat in his face. Okay? Did he scream? Did he ever scream back? Did he ever lose his cool? Once he flipped the table, but that was on purpose because he had a clear mission with showing his emotion. But he stood firm. He stayed calm, clear, unshaken. There's a quote and it says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." So the strongest man in the room is not the one who needs to raise their voice to make a point. Now, guys, I want to be clear about something. I am not saying here that everything needs to be called out. Sometimes people just throw out little jabs because they want to test you. They want to see if they can get under your skin. And in these moments, it's best to just ignore them and walk away. Or get on with what you're doing. Or use that little bit as fuel to push you forward to get a task done. You cannot give energy to every minor offense, because then you give away your power and then you're letting other people control you. This is specifically, what I'm referring to is specific, blatant disrespect. That's different. And standing up for yourself sends a message to that person that, hey, I'm not putting up with this, and it's also going to make them think twice about doing it to other people. So to quickly recap, number one, do not react emotionally. You're not here to lose control. They don't control you. You control you. Number two, calmly label what's happening. Call it out without aggression. Okay? If they back off, great. If they don't, number three, stay composed and respond logically. Okay? Pick your battles. Number four, pick your battles. Do not go at every single comment or jab someone makes at you, because it honestly doesn't deserve your time. Okay? And lastly, the final point I want to point out, number five, is never let fear of someone's, someone's status stop you from defending yourself from self-respect. So it doesn't matter who it is. If anyone is blatantly disrespecting you, you have an obligation to stand up for yourself. No matter if it's someone who you've never met before, who has no status in society, or if it's the president. I don't care. If they're blatantly disrespecting you, you stand up for yourself. So here's the truth. If you don't respect yourself, no one is going to respect you. People will treat you the way that you let them treat you. So don't let disrespect slide because you're too scared or, of being too much or calling people out. Hold your line, keep your self-respect, keep your dignity higher than their energy. And then that leads into, where did your self-respect come from? It comes from your self-image. Where does your self-image come from? It comes from the work you put in every single day. It comes from the actions you're taking. It comes from the type of person you are being. It comes from your confidence knowing what you're doing with your life, who you're impacting. So this all ties into one. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's episode. If it resonated with you, send it to someone who needs help, maybe who needs help standing up for themselves. But remember, calmly, confidently, and powerfully. I will see you next time. As always, stay sharp, stay solid, and never let someone's weak energy pull you out of your strengths. Let's get it.